Hello, everybody. Welcome. How does like us to get this beautiful day? No, just kidding. This really strange day that happened. So it's the day after, see here, the day after Kamala and Tim Walz. So that's why I call it. We're not going to use the E word over here. No. Okay. So, so that's us. Okay. So this is, so today, I should have give an introduction, no? Maybe. So today what I'm doing is I'm going over how I felt, how I've been feeling all day, and go over the comments I've made and people that have reached out to me that share really interesting info in my house. So 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 okay, so th just to tell you, of course, I don't want to, and I feel like this, I'm okay, I'm sure most people probably feel this way. No, I'm sure. I assume this is what I should have said. But basically, like, I don't want to deal with it at this point. Like, oh my God, what happened? Was this like, I don't think it's a time to deal with details because it's not necessary or relevant at this point, right? That's not why we're here right now. It's just, um, it's just to tell you, I just want to like give you a quick overview, right? Or how I was feeling today and the information I got. So yesterday, of course, I did a live stream and I wasn't watching the news at all. Just not because it's, it's nerve-wracking. But then I started to see people making comments and I was like, wow, Florida. They got Florida like so early. It was like not even 7 o'clock. I was like, oh, Florida. They really, oh, that's kind of weird. So this whole time I was very like, I really believe that it's not, I just had no inkling. I really had no, it just felt, the interesting thing to me is that how it felt. It felt so, um, it just felt like normal. Like I was sure that it was going to happen, right? Because I saw it so clearly, and this sensation I had was just very real. I just didn't have any. Oh my God, did I delete it? Oh, no, it is okay. I didn't have any just reason to doubt anything. So then, of course, as an I did not, and then again, I stopped the live stream. I was not I on purpose not watching anything, and I'm following the news. But then I was awake because as I kept hearing that. I didn't go, I slept 2 hours in bed, probably like 4:30 in the morning. And then I woke up at like 6:30 or so, 7 something. So, so that was that, right? And then like, oh, Trump was declared the winner. And I'm like, what? Like, so, so I don't want to like, it's not the point of today to be like, oh, that channel said that, like the channel meaning like whatever the mainstream media said, it's not the point, like, or how they went about it. The point is that this whole purpose of this video is to express how unwavering this feeling for me has been that I saw her winning and on the podium. And so that's what this is about. No, really, that to me is just, and this is the thing, I'm not engaging with any, because I had the other video on YouTube and I made it on this because people were so like, complaining, they were so angry. And I can only express what I see, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. Because I don't, and I know that, like, what happens a lot is like, let's say you predict quote unquote something, right? And it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it. A lot of times people tend to be like, oh, actually, maybe I was wrong or something. I just, in this case, I'm gonna stick with it. I just feel it and like, yeah, sure, he could, I guess, stay, but my feeling has just been unwavering that I still see her, okay, on the podium. And not to say that for whatever reason, they declare the winner. Like I think, honestly, to me, it feels like there was some sort of like deal with the media to declare the winner early. And today I even saw something like that there's people in that camp, in the Republican camp, that were tasked with giving they give the election results too quickly. And they didn't allow some of the other ballots to be counted. Okay. That's just from an obvious perspective, let alone like when we start looking, if you were to start looking at it truly more in depth. Okay. So so this is it. So sorry, because I myself so little. I just want to make sure I catch the thread. I'm on the right thread here. Okay, so we're talking about how they were announcing the Trump president. That's right. So this whole time I'm like, what? No, it's first of all, the thing that is the ears is how they were very quickly, oh, this is he's winning. Well, very, very fast. And it's not like it was in the other time. There's just something, everything about it sounds very shady. Okay, the way they did it, I don't believe, and the numbers are very off. But the point that I want to make is this, is that the spirits were always like, she's gonna win. There's just no threat from him whatsoever. Okay. And then I just like, I don't, the thing is that what I think is difficult for a lot of us to deal with is I have no idea how this is going to happen. The good news is that there's not that much time left to find out, right? It's do or die at this point. But I do feel like I just think that I don't see her. It doesn't make sense. The thing for me, and I looked and I thought, oh, show me Hillary. How different? How similar is her experience from Hillary's? Or it just feels very, very different. Okay, and I know she conceded, but still, I just don't feel like it's over yet. Okay, and we can't yet talk about it. I think there's I think something big is going to happen. Okay. There's still a chance. But again, it's a very small limited amount of time. But because the alternative, like, guys, do you really think that's just my, 2 cents, that a place like a country like the US, with the intelligence services that it has, if those people come, it's basically Putin's, it's like United States of Russia. Okay. So, I mean, it's a fact, right? It's a fact. They were saying it. A lot of very prominent Russian people are saying that. They're like, "Oh yeah, we won. Ah, great. Our military purpose is going to be achieved." So it's like it's not a joke, okay? It's real. But this is the thing. I feel like the amount of the cheating was egregious and it was caught. And I think they will be removed. So, not like, because of course it's not the situation before. Remember how he used to say, oh, he's going to be removed when he was in power. It's before he got, because I don't see his inauguration happening. I just don't. That's the thing. Okay, so sorry, did I ramble? I rambled for a little bit. But now let me read the comments, the things I've written. Okay. Oh, and the thing is, what's very consistent is that Spirit is saying, don't watch the news at all. Don't, because I feel like they create this fear environment. Okay. And I feel, okay. And the thing is, like, it's in the audio I shared. I had a conversation with Corina. I also we recorded it. And parts of it are interesting about this, that how this fear environment is created when people like, oh my God, I'm gonna have Krampus, I'm gonna do this, no, no, no. Step away from the fear. Again, remember to stay in the light and ask yourself, does this come from the light? Don't step in the fear, okay? Because that's what they want. They want, what the goal of this is for people to give up and say, oh, they won, it's over. No, you can't do that, because I don't think they really won. Okay. And this is a process that, again, this is a situation that is so serious, so urgent, that we're going to find out soon enough. Okay. All right. So let me just start now reading the things I have selected. So this is what I posted on Patreon earlier, and then I'm posting it again because it generated really interesting comments. Okay, so here, spirits urge calm and stay in the light. Like many of you, I barely slept. I just got off the phone with a trust intuitive friend, Corina, her name, and another friend reached out. We have very similar feelings, insights that we must stay away from media and social media as much as possible. As crazy it may sound now, after waking up and panicking for about 15 minutes, I still see her being inaugurated. Please don't let thoughts of T-Run contaminate your mind, and don't give into what feels like fear. The media collectively called it too early. It's not over yet. There were what amounts to terrorist attacks. That's another thing. Terrorist attacks on the voting process. It's not over yet. So again, I feel like this whole, I mean, imagine that this what it's like. Basically, there was a terrorist attack on the US during the voting process by a foreign country. It's an act of war. Okay, let's be real. And oh no, the media, no, 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 don't worry about it. Now, in retrospect, it makes sense why the newspapers refused to say I support Kyle. Don't you think it seems very planned, honestly? So again, so this is this part. Okay, so then I received very interesting comments. Okay, so I'm gonna do move to the next screen. So I posted this and I received these messages from Jade. She said, "Good morning, Rosie. Call me delusional, but I woke up with news the lard ass trader has won. I don't believe it for a split second. I remain calm. I'm not freaking out. I feel peace. Love you." And then I replied, said I saw the same thing. Me too, sweetie. I see her in the White House, and I'm not buying to any fear. This will get straightened out. We just have to remain calm and let this play out. Hang in there. Don't start beating yourself up, wondering how this happened. It's not over. That's exactly how I feel. Okay. So just sharing, and then I'm gonna move to the okay. So this is a really interesting comment by someone in the community. Her name is I think I can say Julie, but I erased her username and photo right so that there's no dog. Nowadays, guys, with this Trump situation, it's good to not, to not give I don't know photos or whatever, right? And stuff like that. So, oh, thank you, Rosie. I am highly intuitive and have the same thoughts. I believe we will now see all of the cheating that has gone on right up to SCOTUS. It's coming and it's big. And I said, thank you for so much for sharing, Julie. I don't think we are crazy. And she said, oh, okay. I wondered how this would pan out if she won and he claimed it was stolen. Now he and his MAGA crowd will rejoice and calm down. No violence. It's done as far as they are concerned, but something is coming down the pike, something that no one could see. It will be the biggest exposure we all thought would be coming. I don't know what is I can even what that is, but I feel it would put our democracy as it stands into a place it hasn't been. When we fully understand just how much deceit and darkness has surrounded our government for a very, very long time, even before Trump, I think it's going to be a shocker. We can't fix it. What is not seen or acknowledged, and whatever coming will be the truth that couldn't be seen before. Perhaps we can discern what is coming. We're in the dark before the dawn right now. Let's all wait. It ain't over. Let's take a deep breath and hold on. Okay, so that's part one, and then there's she she added more, and I'm going to move to the next page. It's brilliant, really. Thanks. I don't know. So somebody, I would probably be or another community member. Like I love how because it's such a detailed message. It's really very fascinating. Thanks. I don't know when it will happen, but it will maybe soon when you consider how the media, the GOP, SCOTUS, and all of them have worked overtime to support Trump. Now they can all relax. It worked. In the meantime, that truth is still on its way, perhaps without the cover-up being readily available, since the other side will be busy gloating. The truth will have free reign to blow it all up. How whatever it is, you have to be something to show the root of all of it, a comprehensive knowledge. Every single astrologer from all over the world has seen that this is the end of an era. Every single spiritual view has seen the end of this era. We are in the most chaotic part right now. And I also believe while it still looks like Trump won, Americans will have to mourn what they've lost. So those who are complacent or apathetic will now value what they believe they lost. Right now it sucks, but often folks aren't aware of the worth of something until they believe they've lost it. On a higher level, this may be what ultimately unites us. I remember reading what was 80 years ago. She saw Trump at a podium, and the MAGAs were destroying the bottom of the podium with rage until Trump fell. They had found out something they couldn't ignore. I never forgot that. If some dark truth comes out after he won, her prediction looks pretty good for them to understand how we were all duped by him and perhaps our own government. This truth coming is likely to be pretty ugly. Harris will be there next year to help us heal from it. I had a dream last night that she was despondent, but she and her team pretended to go along with it behind the scenes. There was a plan. My entire family has precognitive dreams. I've only had a couple in my entire life, and I've never had a political dream ever. So for what it's worth, I believe we're in for quite a ride. So, so that's amazing, right? Um, and okay, let me. So it's an incredible comment, right? Like it's when you think about it, and just adding to that, it's something that I'm remembering, guys. Because what a crazy day! Like it's like one day added, mended to the next. So another thing that I thought was quite interesting was that today, this is and I have added the recording of me talking to Corina. We'll talk about it. So today I feel this is so weird. Like the situation, objectively, is a horrible situation. Rather, Trump has been declared the winner. I don't want to say he won, but he's been declared the winner. So, we have the situation, and then I feel light. I feel the vibration that I feel are the vibrations are great. Light, and I was explaining it. I think I was explaining to Karina that it felt like a pressure cooker when when you release the steam, like this release, and it. But when you look at the situation, it's also I don't. It was really hard to understand what the hell's going on. Like if it's why am I feeling good when everything is so bad, right? And I think it's because it's like, and then I went on Twitter, made the mistake of going to Twitter, and people were saying, "Oh, I have all these the bot followers are gone." In other words, the operation has been accomplished, right? Whatever they wanted, it worked. But this makes sense. So I feel like the noise that I was before, I would have been very like kind of like all over the place. Today I felt calmer. I felt like, wow, all these things, like all this. So it's just the sense that there's the energy does not, it feels the energy alone, regardless of like what's out there, it doesn't feel bad at all. So that's what's interesting is that I feel like we're being duped collectively by all these people. Okay. So that's my 2 cents here. So let's go back to the video. All right. I'm gonna add another image. Okay. Okay. So this is a comment from Alison, she's in the UK. So she was referring to, so she was probably in bed when I posted that video saying that everything was going to be fine. So that's what she's referring to. It's the day after the newspapers had in the middle of the night when they declared Trump the winner. So she's saying, saw the latest YouTube post. Thanks so much for these latest updates. Feeling the same. I was reminded of several things today that were in the past to confirm the positivity I was feeling, such as 2020 being called early for 45, the government being ahead of the game this time, etc. But especially my peace, hope in challenging times somehow, knowing the fraud shall be revealed. Also told not to engage with news outlets until it's a clear confirmation. So, so it's so interesting that everybody's picking up on the same thing, and we're all being told to stay calm and not take it as truth because this makes sense. I think what they're doing is it's information warfare, really. They want us to accept this as truth when it's not. They did not. I don't think they won. They really haven't won. They stole the election. Okay, that's what they've done. And so I don't but I think is like this is what I see that it's going to be resolved and as and at the beginning guys when I was looking into the election I remember seeing that there would be delays in counting that it wouldn't be I did think honestly that the inauguration wouldn't happen on the same necessarily the time that it was scheduled because there was like all these counting things. I mean, and I never in a million years imagined it'd be like this, right? But that's what it is. That's what it's turning out to be, I think. Okay. So, all right. So let's see. So tell me more about Kamala. That's it. Thumbs up. And it's interesting. I was looking for answers when saw her mother, and her mother is putting a crown on her head. It's like my girl, she's crowned, she's going to be crowned. And I'm reminded of the card that would show up lately, the wedding card on the Italian cards, like the moment of the coronation, essentially, right? And it's like she will be coronated, yes. And are you saying it because you're her mom? She knows she will be. It's saying she feels like you guys that this was and she has, of course, she's a VP. Someone say I saw somebody saying that. She's a VP, so we don't know how much she already knows. She knows a lot of information about what's going on. So it's not as if like she's in the government already. So it's not like she has information, she knows something. So, okay, so that's That's that. That's her comment. Let's see another one. It's just like guys, I got all these very interesting comments, so I'm sharing this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that's Corina. Hmm. So Corina, this is so I talk so then Corina, I go to bed really early, then she texts me at like, wait, there's another one. There was another one supposed to be at 7 a.m. So let's see here. Maybe I confused them. Okay, let's see. Yeah, anyway, it's okay. I just sharing these that she sent me. Okay, so believe strongly how now everything's about to be exposed. The whole stealing the elections scheme and plans and the actions carried out this time. I keep having the same vision. Everything is about to come crumbling down. I also feel the map with all the red states was part of the media plan to try to get Dems to concede early. So you would be an easy steal. I feel something brewing behind the scenes. God, I need to be right. Karina, someone left amazing comments on picture. I need to send you the screenshot. So this is from I sent her the Julie comments, right? Feeling like this will expose evidence of past elections he messed with as well. And this is something that Julie had mentioned, okay? And she said, I know Kamala conceded, but feeling like it's part of the plan so Republicans back off and don't see it coming. Still keep the trust. Okay, so let's see more. I know I have, guys, it's just I really want to share this because I don't think it's necessary or worthwhile to really like to what happened, why was it, how did they do it? It's like it's not the time. I think to focus, I don't think we should focus at all on like, oh, how they did it, how this. It's like we want to have to focus on seeing Kamala in the White House. I'm serious. Okay, she's already technically in the White House, right, at this moment, but stay as the president. Okay. All right. So this is Nana Q. I'll call Nana Q from the community. Rosie, I agree. So this is she's responding to that post. I agree 100%. I finally went to bed at 5 a.m. Slept a little, but dreamed that Musk and Putin and someone else had been talking and planning, and that Trump knew their plans. Did you notice last night the media, all of them, were projecting winners of the states where they had 50% of the winner, or 50 of votes county, or 5%. How in the heck could they possibly know? And he did exactly what he was trained to do. Got out there and said he won. Something is so wrong. I felt it. I dreamed it. I felt like when Musk started throwing all this money to everything, it destroyed Kamala's momentum. They've had 4 years to plan. Kamala had 100 days to do so. She did. She can still become the president because I saw her at the podium too. So, okay, another one. So let me pause. So this is actually not a comment, but this is something I did. I use the I Ching, it's a Chinese divination system. It's a book. I also have you can download apps for it and there's websites. So I asked about Kamala, whether Kamala is she gonna be inaugurated. So I got the hexagram 63, okay, after completion. So it's basically something that is not yet, and it's what's so funny now that I'm reminded of this. How interesting. I know this hexagram. When I was like going on dates or being interested in somebody, I would always do the I Ching. And I remember this hexagram would always come to me, and I'll be like, "Whoa!" Whenever it showed up, it showed the person they were not going to show up. There would be a change of plans. It's like it's basically it was always saying, okay, you have a plan, we're thinking this, but that's not going to actually happen when push comes to shove. But the important thing is that once you get a hexagram, you get these moving lines, if there are moving lines. And so I want to show you the second line. It was so interesting. I thought it was exactly the situation. So there's different books, translations, different slide, but it's pretty much the same, but using different words. Okay, so it's the second line. So the second line, magnetic, shows its subject as a wife who has lost her carriage queen. There's no occasion to go in the pursuit of it. In 7 days, she will find it. So it's a different. So a woman loses her protection, do not pursue. You will get it in 7 days. A woman had lost the courage, right? So, and then the commentary here, she will not advance further so soon after success has been achieved, but keeps herself in hidden retirement. Let her not seek the screen. In 7 days is a cycle of completion running its course. Then a new period when actual action will be proper shall have commenced. So it's kind of like the situation that we're in, where like it's not going to be the person that you think is going to be. Kamala is not going to be like, oh, I'm going to want to sue. No, she's going to be on the down low, and then things are going to come to her. This is exactly like, I don't think she has to like sue or something. It's like the government knows what's going on. I mean, the government, it's not the right word. I don't know exactly, like, I do think they know, because guys, by the way, I don't want to talk about it today because that's not the point. It's too raw. And again, I really don't, I almost don't feel like, I don't want to know how exactly it happened. I want to know how it's going to be undone. But I think I'm burned out. Maybe most people are burned out from the details. I think we just have to trust it. We have to pray a lot. We have to see come. You have to, if you guys, if you believe you have faith, see Kamala in the White House. Okay, and I'm not saying it just helps. What you cannot, the thing that I ask everybody to not do is to be like, but such and such said in the whatever MSNBC, whoever. Do not listen to the media. It's a warfare operation to try to gaslight you. Okay. So just do yourself a favor, because it'll make you feel good too. Just see Kamala in the White House. The reality is we don't have a lot of time to make changes. I believe changes will be made, but they will happen soon. Okay, soon-ish. And I believe, guys, possibly even before Thanksgiving, to be honest with you. Okay. So, oh, it's saying before the sentence, Trump has a sentencing, I think it's the 28th of November. It's saying it should happen before the sentencing. So this is that. And so I'm gonna stop here recording the video, and then I'm going to show, I'm gonna share. So I had a conversation, one of the conversations I had with Corina, because I had several about this. We recorded it. And so parts of it where the way she feels like he's not the president, and the way that the thing this is gonna come out. I don't think, and again, a lot of us, I know some of you very well, and they're like, oh, ask after how, when, what's gonna happen? Like, you just have to, in this case, I am not getting like we should not want to know details. It's just saying that it's fated, and I believe it is going to happen. Because, okay, and again, this is not to scare you, really. But if nothing is done, then Putin owns this country. Like, this is a fact, right? At this stage, especially with Peter Thiel and JD Vance, because really, Trump is not going to last that long. He's gonna get out. I don't think I don't think it's gonna happen, the whole thing, but the plan is really to get Trump for a few months, and then he can kick him out or whatever. He's old, right? Like pretty old. He's not gonna be well. Then they have JD Vance, the fascist prince, Peter Thiel's BFF or boyfriend or whatever, right? So we're gonna that's their plan. And this is, and guys, JD Vance from the beginning, he's very pro-Russia. What hell do I, right? Well, now we wonder, right? Oh, interesting. What happened? So it's a matter of people standing for something, and I do think, as I saying, that it's a matter of the deep state to take care of, and I feel good about it. I honestly do. Okay, so this is it. But again, don't I just think we forget about details for now. Just you have to trust it. You have to stand in the faith and turn off television, turn off social media. Just don't like consume that content. You can't. Because really, guys, honestly, it's like a mind control situation. They want us to believe this thing. I just think they basically hijacked the results. They said, no, this is the result I have. Here's the result. And they gave it to you, but it's not the real final result. So, okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop here, and I'll talk to you probably. I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, but Friday. Okay. All right. So good night. Okay. So, and there's video with Corina. Okay, the recording, just a voice. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching.
And I had my crystals in my hand. Every time I like start to drift off, because I'd kind of drift off, then I'd wake up, drift off, and I'd wake up. But every time I drift off, I would see the same vision, only in a different way. And it was the same thing as I saw earlier, the split screen of, him declaring victory. And like, I looked at the inauguration, and it was her, the same stage, and him crumbling. So, and then and then another vision came. You remember when he stood on the balcony and looked up at the solar eclipse, and everybody's like, what a fucking moron. And that image of him looking up, I had that same vision of that scene. And he's looking up, but this time his hands up like he's declaring victory. And then I saw, the picture of the hand of God that comes through the clouds.
Yes.
And it was the same thing, that hand coming through, going, oh, no, 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 no. It's time for karma now. Like he's feeling the victory, and it's ripped right out from under him, as and honestly, that's kind of what people have seen. And I don't know why, Rosie, but I keep getting that same frustration when when everybody was like freaking out over Joe Biden dropping out and Kamala. And it was like, I was, I kept saying, no, 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 the bigger picture. And it's like, I keep getting that same frustration, and I want to be mad at Linda G, and I don't know why. But because she was kind of like, conceding, and I'm like, no. So it's that same feeling. But so then I could, went back to sleep, kept having that over and over. So when I woke up, kind of the same feelings, as I don't feel like the collective I've let, like, that is out of me. I'm not taking that on. I am so peaceful. So I get up, go get ready to or I'm going to go have coffee. And I know Bob's up because he's an early riser, but he's not in the living room. So I figure he's in the garage having a cigar. He probably can't handle it. And so I go out there, and I look at him, and I could tell his eyes were red. Like he'd already probably been crying. And he looked distraught. He did look a little distraught. And so I just told him, our whole conversation and everything. And it was interesting because there's times in my life when spirit comes out of me so strong that I'll just scream a word, or like I'll just yell it. It comes out in a way that I can't control it. It just comes out of me. And this was like Alec walked out and said, good morning. And Bob goes, well, we have a new, our new president is President Trump. And I said, no, it's not. Don't ever say that again. And
Wow.
he just flew back in his chair and looked at me like, and he was like, just like looking at me with his mouth open. And then I said something to Alec, like, and I looked back at Bob and I said, wow, I'm sorry. Did you see how that just came flying? And he's like, he's still back in his chair, like, oh my God. I said, that wasn't me. That flew out of me from spirit. That was not me. And Alec, I was talking to him, and he's like, Mom, I don't think this is over. I don't feel it. I said, no, Alec, it's not. And he said the same thing that she said in that line. He said, maybe we have to see that some people were complacent and didn't take this seriously. And maybe we have to see what we almost lose. Maybe it has to be more real. So, I mean, he kind of said the same like line that she had, that Julie had said, and he doesn't, and Alec is pretty good with energy. He doesn't feel it either. And he's like, I still think we're not past this. And I told him about our conversation. So all this has passed, and now I'm gonna go sit down and have my coffee. So as soon as I'm sitting down going, oh God, I need to relax. I need to just not think about that. I'm so tired. So the second I sat down, I picked up my phone, and I'm like, I gotta text Rosie this. And I didn't even really know what I was texting you, like gonna text you, but I just had this, I'm just typing away, like, I need to tell you this. And it was what I had texted you about, what I had, as I was sitting there, this whole unraveling came to me. It was just, so it was like a vision almost. I mean, it was like years of a vision
Mm.
compressed into one. So, and I know you and I've had this conversation before, way back in 2020, 2016, or 2020. And I know we've discussed this before. I'm sorry, I'm going to take a quick bite of yogurt. Um, I remember discussing the cheating in 2020.
Mm.
And I remember the frustration, like, why isn't the DOJ, you know, bringing this up? Why aren't they arresting? Why aren't they doing what? It was that whole feeling that they weren't doing enough. But I remember saying, we almost have to go through, we can't, we have the proof, but Trump's people are still kind of there and in charge. We can't do anything. We almost have to go through another cycle for it to be unveiled so they have proof and facts. And they saw that in the midterms, but it wasn't enough. So it was like, we have to go through another cycle for them to now complete the cycle, show all the evidence, and unveil it. So that's kind of what came the vision today. It was like this whole time we have been thinking that maybe Merrick Garland has been sitting on his thumbs, but honestly, kind of what I saw was a big underground, like underground of law enforcement infiltrating MAGA and the fake electors. And because they've already interviewed those people, they know how they did it. So they're not sitting back on their hands. They're infiltrating and watching and waiting and playing along and doing it with them because we need valid, we need to show everybody proof and facts. And we can't go back and show them 2020 because people forget. They don't care, they forget. We have to show current stuff. So that's what it was. It was this whole thing of, we don't know what's coming. We have no clue what's about to be shown. And that's where I keep seeing he's victorious. Yes, I got away with it. I'm getting away with it. In his mind, oh, he's just like celebrating all the crimes he's ever done that he's getting away with in this moment. And then it's like, it just gets ripped right out from under him. And that's when, again, that image appeared of the, and I saw it was Elon Musk who was opening the tomb and looking in it and going, ah, and he started to melt first. Like it was him who was melting first, and then everybody else. But it was the exposure. That tomb was the exposure of all the truth that's about to come out. So when I read, and as soon as I sent that to you, that you sent me that Julie's comment, and it was like, as soon as I read that, it was like I had chills and vibes. And yes, that is, I mean, not, I can't see not being right. Now that I woke up and texted you that and all that, I actually, like Bob just went to go run a few errands, and I said, I'm going to stay out of the collective today.
Yes.
But I feel giddy. I actually feel joyful and giddy. I would not feel that if that guy was sitting in the White House. I wouldn't. And I just keep getting that it's going to be okay. It is time. And when you said, why do we feel so relaxed? The first thing that came to my mind is because you know the truth. And the truth has to prevail. So we are in a time where truth has to prevail for this to come. But you know what? And this is where I completely agree with with what the girl Julie said. If by chance we would have won the election just straight out Wednesday night, everybody would have gotten on with their lives. Great, we're done. We got on with it. We're going to forget about everything and move on. I don't think we're meant to do that quite yet. We haven't seen what has been happening yet. It hasn't been exposed.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And I'm sorry, but we are meant to see it. It is meant to be exposed. And how else would that happen if we didn't expose the crimes?
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I just don't see it any other way. I can't. That's the thing. I can't. I cannot even come close to any other vision. So, I mean, I just have to go with that, or else I'll probably go crazy because it's like, you can't tell me we've been put through all this and making ourselves into better people to become handmaid's tales. You know, I just don't see it. I really don't.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, it's let's see, tell me more. Tell us.